And welcome everybody to my channel once again. You might be asking, why is it that you're seeing a CBF600S? Well, as you know, I like to do reviews, and this is an opportunity that I couldn't resist. On my previous review, we discussed the VFR 800, the 2009, that I wanted to replace with my NC. Let's just say that things did not materialize and happen the way I wanted them to, because we all have our requirements and we all have our needs, and unfortunately things didn't work out the way I wanted them to. Nonetheless, my pursuit for the VFR will remain, and I shall continue with the search. But in the interim, I found this beaut, which in many instances, particularly in South Africa, is not the most popular of all the CBs. For some reason, this one is a 600 and has a similar engine to the CBR, except it's been detuned. I don't have all the specifics at the moment. All I can say is that I've upped my horsepower from the NC to 76 horsepower. I stand to be corrected, it's probably 72, and I know that the torque is very similar. Obviously, with a 4-cylinder inline 4, the power delivery is going to be very, very different. So needless to say, this one is slightly faster. It has a totally different ride stance, I would call it. It's not a particularly sports bike. I would call it a sports tourer, a mini sports tourer anyway. As you see, the handlebars are quite raised, so that offers a very comfortable riding position. But if you lean down, the windscreen will offer you the protection necessary to get the job done. It has twin headlights in the front, which is something that I'm familiar with Honda, particularly in the sports like the VFR. In this case, this one is missing a globe. I need to go get it. That's the only thing I can see that's not 100% concerning the motorcycle as a whole. I've given it a good clean to do a proper inspection, and it seems that everything is working properly. So this to say that this bike is not as pretty as the VFR 800. Excuse the angles that I'm finding here, but it is still an attractive bike. I think the color has something to do with the sex appeal of the bike. It's a little bland. It's very black, so it's a shiny black. It's a metallic, if I'm not mistaken, and this is about as much color as you'll see to break the color of the bike. And then over here on the back, on this panel, there's a little bit of red there, which also not very visible. I think from this side here it's a bit more visible. There you go. So yeah, okay, so you got twin discs in the front, Nissans like the VFR. The shocks are fine, they seem to be in order, no leaks, slight cracks on the little rubbers over there. Let me get out of the sun. But those are manageable, and I know how to treat that. So we got a lot of braking power here. We have a torque curve that has been sort of toned down from the CBR 600, obviously, and the CBR 600RR. So it revs slightly less, perhaps 2,000-3,000 revs less. I'm not here to give those stats as I normally do. The shock seems very good, a shower. So yeah, you can adjust that. That is a pre-adjustable shock. Very, very comfortable. It seems to is very manageable on corners, and I don't even have the size of the tires, but they seem to be slightly different to the NC's sizes. These are Batlaxes by Bridgestone. I think it's Bridgestone, and they seem to be in a fairly good condition, particularly the back one. The chain is fine, needs a proper clean, and everything else seems to be in order. One or two little seals. I think I found the seal over here where the gear activator, I don't even know what that's called, but that probably needs to be replaced. It's the only thing I see that needs immediate attention. And perhaps as soon as I can, a new front tire. This one is not that great. It's workable. I can still use that. I'll still use it, but it does need replacing. So what else can I say about this bike? Well, like I said, not the most popular in South Africa. You know, South Africans, we need a lot of speed, and every time we deal with a sports bike, it has to do 300 or more. Because of the highways and the nature of our roads here. The bike has a very attractive back, resembling the VFR of old, perhaps a 5th gen. It's got more rounded, so very simple motorcycle. I think that's a standard exhaust. I'm not familiar with the CBF as much as I would like to, but I did enjoy the trial run that I had on the motorcycle, and that's what caused me to go and replace my NC, which I dearly loved. It served me very, very well. So please, if there are any NC enthusiasts here and NC owners, please forgive me. I totally can relate to how good the NC is, but you know, this season of ours with Corona and COVID has brought some anxiety, and you know, this is one of those purchases that first of all, there was no, it was just a clean swap, so there was no financial gain of any kind for any party other than the fact that we rotated the units. And right, let's continue with these. Let's just call on some negatives here. The analog display is, I like analog a lot. I would prefer the Speedo to be digital because unfortunately they seem a little small, and I am 52 years old. So a bit more visibility would be nice. The tacho is fine. I can live with that. It's got a fuel indicator. It doesn't have a gear indicator. So for those of you with the NCs that are accustomed to having all the gizmos and the high-tech stuff, this one is not going to give you that. So I've lost on a few things, including the DCT, of course. But on the other hand, I get a little bit more sports and highway performance, which, like I said, in South Africa is important. I mean, we got buckies. Buckies are pickup vehicles, as you call them in the States and other countries, that do 200 kilometers per hour. So to have one of those overtake you on the highway is not the way to go. So let's give this a start and see. It is in neutral and probably needs a service. But it starts first time. Obviously cease to speak so that you can hear the bike. I'm just letting it warm up a little bit before I go and give it a quick rev. So I'm under the impression that it does need a service, so I need to change oil, maybe put plugs, oil filter. I have to look at the air filter. I haven't seen that yet. Like I said, that left globe is not functional, but everything else is. Let's just go take a look. Okay, it's got 32,500 on the clock. And the one thing I noticed is the fuel indicator takes a while to activate properly, because I know the tank is full, but it's not indicating that. So, but otherwise a very, very clean vehicle. The chain is set properly. Everything seems to be good. Let's just get a bit of sound again. Right, and there you go. That's so much for the sound, so that we can complete the rest of the video. So I think this is a pretty good swap. I'm going to miss some of the perks of the NC. I have to admit I was a little short for the NC, which meant at traffic lights, or robots as we call them here in South Africa, I felt a little uncomfortable at times because I kind of had to swing the one leg to flat foot one of my feet anyway. So there you go. I hope you like this video. It's a short one, not a lot of technical details on it other than the fact that it's a detuned CBR motor with a 4-cylinder inline. The torque curve seems to be okay once you get it going, and as I progress my tenure with this one in search of my VFR, I will come back to you with a proper detailed video on this one again to give you an update of how everything has turned out. So far I'm happy. I enjoyed the comfort levels were fantastic. I forgot to mention these mirrors are absolutely stunning. I mean, if all mirrors on all, I can hardly even get both of them into the view of the camera, but these are absolutely fantastic. You can really, I hardly see my elbows on this, and it does a fantastic job. So there you go. That's the CBF600S 2013. Believe it or not, same year model as my NC 700, and I wish I could have kept the NC as my commuter, but like I said, we're allowed to change our toys. The NC wasn't so much of a toy. I think this one's a bit more of a toy. The NC was a real commuter. That was a workhorse of note, but I will be using this as a workhorse as well. That's the only way to find out if the vehicle is indeed providing everything that we request of it, or to find out more about the bike. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave you with this last view of the bike, and for those of you that are new to my channel, I do all sorts of stuff. Motorcycle seems to have been the latest craze. I'm a bit stuck with the motorcycle thing for the moment, but I will be back with other videos of scenery and other places in the country. I'm about to go on a trip soon, so hopefully I'll come back to you with that one. So yeah, thank you for coming once again. Hope you enjoyed it. Please press like and show some support. It'd be much appreciated. I hope you enjoy this, and God bless wherever you are. Have a good evening, good morning, and a good day. Thanks for coming. Cheerio. Bye bye.